That's what
Yeah, we're ready to rock. I don't know what. That's a weird. Why is it? They changed their messages.
What's that?
Something about the live chat. Nobody's here yet.
It should be hot. I have signal in and out.
Yo, what's going
just,
on? Hey, throw us
that?
a quick chat if you can hear us. We're just getting set up over here.
Hanging right here. I hooked it on my
okay.
claw. And the camera.
No one is here. Sorry, guys. Hey, Joe, can you hear us, bro? Joe.
Joe, what do you know?
Joe, can you hear us?
Hello.
Hold on.
Hello.
Yeah, it sounds good. All right, sweet. I'm just standing behind it. I'm trying to squeak past here.
So you can hear us?
Squeak past here. All right.
Yo, what up, Matt? Yeah, we got, sounds like the audio's working fine.
Cool.
This thing.
What up, Tats fam? We're just getting set up over here. A little late start, but hey, sometimes shit happens. We've been hanging out.
This is at 60%, which is probably not necessarily adequate. But
Oh, that's all good, man.
you can get
Extend it out. Yo, what's going on out there?
get it started.
We're if you're just joining the live stream, Jay and I just getting going over here at Jay's studio, Bohemesphere Studio. Listening to some mixes, listening to some stuff people have been sending us. And actually, I brought Jay a special treat, which I guess I could show off. The Just a Trick tape. I got to do a little bit more on the master on this thing. It's a little bit. Got to rework it a little bit. But yeah, these should be available next week. So you heard it here first. And it's a short run, so if you want one, make sure you grab one. I could probably make more, but for now I'm only gonna make a few. So if you want one, check it out. And Joe, I used some of your art, bro. I hope that's cool. I didn't think you would mind. I put this pic in the inside, bro. I'm gonna send you one. I got one set aside for you, so as a thanks. This is some art from the video that Joe made for Just the Trick. So I figured it fit that really well. And then Tim's art is on the front. And it worked out really well to use Just a Trick on the spine, so it's very serendipitous. I just printed these out today, started dubbing them with the current master, and it just needs a little. I need to change it a little bit. It's been a while since I mastered something for tape, so. But yeah, so Just a Trick tapes coming to a website near you, coming to the Bandcamp soon. So yeah, that's the big announcement, I guess, today. Jay's gonna take a listen to that for me. Tell me what he thinks. Oh, that's weird. That's the picture on there.
Yeah.
I took one of Ganesh.
I don't know, man.
Very odd. But yeah, so other than that,
It's telling me there's no connection on this fucking G-pad thing, but yeah, I don't know.
it's going.
Yeah, it seems like it's working better than usual.
All right.
I don't fucking know.
You guys gonna get a hookah going? Yeah, Jay had his hey Matt. Yeah, Jay had his he had the incense burning a couple weeks ago. I don't know if you're here for that one. I
burned it before you got here today.
Did you?
Yeah, plug that in the bottom.
Yeah, sure, man.
That way you can put the battery back
Oh yeah, sick.
all the way around.
Oh, it's like
Yeah, there's a,
I'm so used to lightning port. It just goes in either way. All right, sick, dude.
and then that has like
This thing's sick. This is what we'll be using the stream with. So
yeah, it's a battery brick. But yeah, we added more to the
hey Bobby,
added more to those.
stream froze. Oh fuck, stream is
Already?
back. Wait, how we get the tape? Oh Bobby, I'm gonna be putting it up probably this week or next week, bro. So.
Yo, so this is the.
Whoa, this thing.
Is it telling you there's no connection, or is it vibrating?
Vibrating.
It's just telling you that I got a whole bunch of fucking emails that it didn't know about.
Okay. Oh yeah, it's like. what's up, Kermack? Bobby said drums sound sweet.
What's that?
Bobby said drums sound sweet. So we're good on the connection then?
Looks like it. Video here is.
Yo, Matt, what's going on?
I mean, looks as fine as it can look. We're actually not 8-bit yet, so that's.
We're not. I know it actually looks pretty good tonight. It's crazy. I must have found the sweet spot there. I'll have to make a mark on the floor. Yo, what's going on, guys?
Stop working.
Matt, I made some tapes, bro. I got one set aside for you as a thanks for sending a bunch of shit to the channel. So I was showing this off before you got here, but yeah, I still got to run the master of it, but it's gonna be coming your way soon. That was the big news. Connection looks good. All right, sweet. Yeah, I'm just gonna put it up on the Bandcamp or something, and then I have a few set aside for some of the patrons that wanted one, and then I might even add a new patron tier that's like Tape Fiend or something, and make some tapes for peeps. Whoever, you know, as like a reward each month. Yeah, dude, thank you, man. That deck's been working out really good. I really wouldn't have been able to make it without the stuff you sent. Like Dub then. Yeah, for sure, Bobby. Yeah, it sounds good, Joe. Alright, man, I'll throw it on there for you. If you want one, if you want it on there. Alright, cool. That sounds good. That sounds good, guys. I wasn't thinking of doing that, but if that's what y'all want, let's do it.
What are you doing?
They're saying put your John Hancock on the cassette.
Oh, sign that bitch.
Sign that thing. You want it like on the actual cassette or on the art? Or put that cock on that. Alright, we could do that.
Whoa.
I'll get Jay to...
It had to be Matt that said that shit.
No, it was actually Bobby.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, I'm surprised. Hearing that.
Yeah, I'll have to commission Jay to do some art for it.
Yeah. Nobody wants that. Nobody wants that.
Nobody wants that. Well, so what's going on out there in TaskFam world? How's everybody doing? Thanks for joining us tonight. We're just chilling, just gelling. It's been a great week. It's been a really good week. Making a lot of progress on a lot of projects. So, new podcast tomorrow. I was actually able to do a lot of the videos this weekend. So I've been getting ahead of schedule. Podcast this week is "What's your definition of success?" That'll be live tomorrow at 8 a.m.
I feel like that's something we talk about like
3
all
p.m.
the time.
Eastern. Yeah, that's why I wanted to distill it into like a. Because like what I figured out was for the podcast, I feel like I'm kind of writing some sort of book or pamphlet or ebook that's going to be geared toward helping people get their creative goals completed.
Right.
And so now each week with the pod, I'm just been kind of like thinking about the things we talk about here, thinking about some things I've been thinking about, kind of distill it all into one quick podcast. And I think I found a good format. And now, yeah, I'm just going to go back through and add it to the book or PDF, whatever it becomes. I'm really excited about that project. So if you want to check out that podcast tomorrow, it's another really good one. So I'm just going to keep going with the pod now, I guess, until I run out of ideas, and then maybe I'll take some time off and work on the book. I don't know. We'll see what happens. But yeah, a lot of projects coming out. Just got to schedule the time to do them. Yo, Kona Rider, what up? I saw you were saying something earlier. It flew past. Jamming out to Earthless right now. Nice. Thanks for tuning in this week. Appreciate you. Matt's got a surprise for us. Jason just finished dubbing his. Yeah, Jason, I got one set aside for you too, buddy. Oh yeah, the middle of the day stream. Yeah, on Monday. Yeah, I had some time Monday. I didn't really have time to make a video, and I just said, well, it would take me an hour to make a video anyway. I got done lifting. and I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna make a song or something. I might try to do more Mondays. I don't know. It's a lot easier to just stream than sometimes come up with a video idea. So if that's something you guys are down with, we can definitely do it more often. Also, I was trying to catch some of the EU folk because a lot of the EU bros can't show out on this late. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I kind of missed the. I used to doing the Saturday stream. We used to do the Tuesday stream, and I just missed like the earlier one. You know, it was a lot of fun. And it was cool because we saw a lot of different faces and a lot of familiar ones too. So might do some more of that. I've been thinking a lot about shifting over some of the channel content to. Yeah, it looks good, man.
Yeah, it's like fucking blind to me though.
Maybe, yeah. I mean, it looks good though, like everything about it. Yeah, that's what we're gonna do, Joe. That's funny you mentioned that. Joe said I really like the writing a song in an hour. What I want to start doing is do a live writing a song in an hour, which is sort of what I was trying to do with the Monday stream, but I just it's
What
anyway.
up, Bean Trees?
Hey James, what's up, buddy? Yeah, I want to do like a Monday stream where it's writing. Basically, do Mondays or Tuesdays, which is live, if I can make time for it, and writing a song in an hour. So it'll be like an hour-long stream, maybe an hour, 15 minutes for some stoppage time for chatting or something. But I was thinking because I think I was telling Jay this, like those longer videos, it takes like forever to upload them, and I figured, well, if I can just stream them, similar to some of the interviews and stuff, then I can either just stream them live, and then people can check them out and post. Y'all can input or give suggestions or part suggestions or whatever, and then also it would save a lot of time on the back end having to upload it or edit it, which I really wasn't planning on doing. If you want to check out, cool. If not, you can scrub through it and find the speedy version of it. But yeah, I was thinking that just like I think I want to like with the channel do more stuff about like either songwriting workshop or like setting aside a time to do it each week, and then you guys can either join with it or work on something in tangent or in tandem. So I don't know. Thanks for the feedback on that. I definitely want to do more of that.
So what's up, everybody?
What's up, Oda? Oda's asking, where's the 388, Jay?
I don't have 388. The Tascam 38, the 8-track.
388? Yeah. Oh, maybe that's what they mean. The 38.
38, yeah. It's in the barn at my house in the fucking freezing cold right now.
Yeah. Speaking of tape machines, we gotta light up that M80 and see if we can get it to explode.
What M80?
The Fostex that David sent. I'll bring my
Light it
checkbook.
up, man.
Yeah, we gotta see what's up with that. Yeah, I want to get I think that's gonna be a goal for 2019. That's gonna be my New Year's resolution. Work on more tape machine videos. So if you've been hanging around waiting for those tape machine videos, we're definitely gonna be doing them in 2019. So that's the resolution.
Bobby, quick question. What is your approach to writing a song? Just jamming on anything, picking a key to write in, and following chord progressions, or what? I think that really depends, but like I just wrote this like 4.5-minute song for the Irish band. I spent the whole day with the entirety of the band the other day, and I was feeling very Irish, so I started doing some research on Irish immigration and the famine and stuff, and so I wrote this big long epic. But when I sat down to piece it together, I did a demo by myself, and I just sort of had beats in my head, and I sort of knew how the riff needed to phrase. So I put the drum pieces down to a click track, and I chopped them all up and moved them around and let them be kind of wonky and whatever, and then I played with riffs until I landed on stuff that I liked, and I figured out how to put it together. But I think in a band situation, though, you know, it'll be the most organic if it just comes out of jamming on it, but it also can be very hit or miss depending on
well, because like
the
you were
day
saying
and who
in
you're
the
playing with or whatever.
Surmiser situation, you guys kind of get together, jam before practice. You guys remember practice.
Yeah.
Which I think that's also a really powerful thing too, is because I do that too. Or if I write something and then take a break from it, if I can't remember what it is, I usually just obviously don't remember what it is, and then it's always a barometer for, well, was it that good? If I can't remember what I played. So the stuff that if you wind up every time you pick up a guitar playing the same riff, or like you were saying with the band situation, like you guys get together, jam, come up with stuff each week, and then you say, oh hey, what was remember that thing we were doing? Let's work on that. Like I think those are really good indications of something to work on.
Well, we used to just make like really terrible rehearsal recordings of shit, and you know.
Yeah, really quick. Joe said pizza, BRB, and James said BRB. Gotta put the kids to bed. So people are taking some breaks. Sorry, Jay. What were you saying? I just thought that was really funny.
Well, we would make rehearsal recordings or whatever, you know.
Yeah.
And that's sort of how stuff stuck, I guess. But I don't know.
I think that's also good too. Is like having some kind of recording thing going, but I don't know. I feel like you gotta, because like sometimes the issue is almost too many ideas or not knowing which ones, separating the wheat from the chaff. Is that what they say?
Yeah, it certainly can be.
I don't know. I just wanted to address something Joe said, but he said pizza BRB, but so when he comes back, there actually is a Discord chat server now for 424 recording. It was like a quiet release. I didn't really mention it yet. I haven't made an official announcement about it. But so now there's this thing called basically Discord, which is for it's for gaming, but there's a lot of other channels on there. It's kind of like a private chat server or a chat server, and also a voice chat server. A lot of like streamers use them, gaming streamers. It's like another place to meet up. But so there actually is a 424 recording one. So if you are in Discord or have a Discord account, come find the 424 recording Discord chat. We can't access it now because I don't have my computer, and I don't have the app on my phone. My phone's streaming right now, so I believe it's just 424 recording, whatever the address is. I know this isn't the best information. But yeah, there is a Discord server for 424 recording for the stream, and it'll be a place to, if you got questions, I'll make an announcement on the forum, and it'll be, so it's kind of like a live, it's just a chat room basically for 424 recording and tapes and talking about recording stuff or whatever. So yeah, it exists, Joe. I'll probably have to say this again when he comes back, but if he's not back, but yeah, so. Yeah, so there's a Discord server. If you have Discord, come find us. Come join up. I believe it's just 424 recording. You can find it on there. I believe it's launched, but where's the link? Yeah, I don't know. I believe it's just like Discord. If you can search on there, just search for 424 recording. Because I've been kind of like, obviously Turtleneck was mentioning that, Joe was mentioning that now. Other people have mentioned it to me in the past. I think Will was asking me about it. And I had made one because it integrates really nicely with the Patreon. There's like special roles people can get if you're a patron, and so now that's also part of the Patreon. So if you join up at a certain level, you'll get like a certain role in the Discord server. I just wasn't sure how often people used it, and I wasn't sure like. The main thing is just making sure that we can provide value through the Discord server, because again, it is another place that we need to check. But I think it'll be really cool. Maybe commit to hanging out there, obviously during the streams, and then. But I feel like
Clark say.
I don't know.
Another fucking Trumpkin. Jesus Christ! Every week now.
I guess we're getting out there.
I think Trump is a Jesus. Trump equals Jesus. Good luck with that. Enjoy your time out. Rangoon. The circuit bent alarm clock. Everybody likes that circuit bent shit, huh?
Yeah, that was really dope, man. I'd love to make another. Alright, cool. Yeah, I came across this dude, Simon Magpie. I've been watching his channel for a while.
Yeah, Magpie.
Yeah. He does a lot of circuit bend stuff, and
He does a lot of like really fucking destructive and disastrous things too.
toward equipment or toward.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
Look
Yeah.
up the video. He plugged in like a DS1 with cables and shit, and then he set it on fire. Just see what would happen.
Like
That's
the
the
sound of
best
it,
one.
or just
Yeah.
like okay.
Yeah, that's the best one. It's all fucked up. I think he ended up like fucking threw it like off a building or something after that.
Yeah. I saw someone's video on the OP1 recently. That synthesizer made a video about it being discontinued and now not discontinued. But yes, the reason I was mentioning Simon was because I've seen him on a couple of the videos now, saying like chatting a little bit, and B, I want to do some sort of collaboration with him if he's out there. He's probably not in the chat, but I think it'd be cool because he does a lot of circuit bend stuff, like Joe was saying, like with that alarm clock. I think he's in Sweden, but I don't know. Maybe we can do some sort of collaboration. So.
Bobby, do you consider music theory when writing? In the case of the song that I just worked on, I had to figure out what the B flat Mixolydian mode was so that I could play around with the bagpipe chanter does, and make that correlate to the ideas that were in my head. So yeah, I guess theory becomes part of it, but you know, with the Irish band stuff, it's like you got to write around the pipes, so you got to hear a melody within what's going on there. With a rock band, I don't think I ever really approach it from a standpoint of like, oh, that's not in key. I feel like once your ear is sort of, you know, whatever,
Yeah,
as tuned as it's gonna get, you know what interval belongs where and how it should go just by the way that it sounds, and you can tell when you're playing some wrong shit.
right.
So that's me. Anyway.
I never consider music theory when I'm writing stuff. I just kind of go by ear, and I feel like that's kind of the big, like Jason, and the big thing for a lot of people. I would say those are probably the two biggest approaches: is having some kind of music theory background and also not.
Yeah, that's music theory is I think that's a big catch-22, man.
Yeah.
Like it really could help you write things more in depth and go more places with the things you are writing, but it also could sink your fucking ship. So
Yeah, I think it tends to, because like just personally, my own anecdotals, like the more I learn, I feel like the more it puts me in the box. Does that make sense? Like
yeah, totally.
Because I've met people who are like literally crippled by their knowledge of music theory because
Which is
they'll
like,
be like, you can't do that. It's like, why not? It sounds good.
do whatever the fuck I want.
Yeah.
But you know,
I
the
think
funny
that's the problem with it. I think.
the funny part about music theory is if you dig in deep enough, even wrong notes become right.
Right.
So
Well,
like,
look at
talk
the
to
blues
those-
or something, man. Like the passing note, the passing like flat. Sounds great.
but talk to like those jazz cats about that stuff, man. Fucking accidentals and all these things. There's like all these terms for when you fucking blow a note. Like, oh no, just, you know,
Yeah.
that was an accidental. Oh no, that's the augmented 13th of that, you know,
I also
A
think like
flatted 7th chord I was playing. So
Yeah.
you know, it's technically that's the right note.
I feel like that's always been my barrier to the entry on music theory. Is exactly what you're saying. It's like
It's a bunch of fucking
it's
circle
almost like
jerking.
yeah, it's almost like. I mean, not everybody who's into it is like that, but a lot of people are very almost like snobby about it.
But
That's what turns me off about it. Is like, oh, you can't do that because it's technically.
I know this one jazz dude who's like, he's fucking great about it, man. He's like, I'm off an amp and be like, yo, so I was playing this thing and I played this and it didn't, I don't know. Like, it sounds cool to me, but it feels wrong. Like, well, look, man, look. Some cats, man, they play shit like this, right? Like, but then other cats, man, like, they'll put this note and this here and you can use this interval because it's whatever, and you know, and then like, yeah, so no, that's, yeah.
Yeah.
Conversations with jazz dudes like that, and he teaches.
Well, that's cool.
He teaches music theory in a fucking college.
That's awesome.
So
I guess anybody who can be hoity-toity about it, you know,
Sure.
where like I've met people that literally
Especially when
will
they-
look down on you because
I went to Berkeley.
you don't do any theory. Yeah.
I went to Berkeley
The reason that's a funny inside joke is because.
because it's a funny inside joke.
Well, I remember the first time I met Jen. I think I offended her because I was talking to her about this, and then she revealed that she actually had studied like music theory.
Yeah, she did.
And that was like her first impression of me. So
Whatever.
I remember that. It was funny.
Oh shit! I just got an email while we're in the stream. Tad just put out
Oh, sick.
something else. What is this? Incineration ceremonies is the second volume.
Discord affiliate link. Yeah, I don't know. Okay, I guess you can't get a. I'm not sure affiliate. Okay, I'll have to find out what it is. I can't look up the link right now for the Discord. If you follow me on Instagram at 424 Recording, I'll make a post about it tomorrow, announcing it, I guess, and then I'll make an official announcement video next week or something. And you can also find it through Patreon, I think. It should be linked to that now because I was like working on some of the back end stuff with linking that. So there may be a way to find it on there, but I have to. I'll have to. I guess this was kind of the reason I didn't like officially announce it. But since so many peeps have been asking about it now, I'll make an official video about it next week. I'll drop an Instagram post about it tomorrow or something, or Friday, or tomorrow. I'll do it tomorrow. And then we'll figure out what's up with it, and I'll also post a link on the forum too. So, because that's what'll be cool. It'll almost be a live version of the forum. So, yeah, I hope that's helpful. I'm sorry I don't know the exact Discord address of it. I thought it was literally like, like patreon.com/424recording, youtube.com/424recording. I didn't realize. I thought it was like discord.com/424recording, but I guess it's not like that because I don't think it's a .com. Well, it probably is at some capacity, but
I don't even know.
yeah, it's kind of like it's kind of on the download right now. I gotta announce it. I've been meaning to. Just fucking so many things slipping my mind.
Yeah, it happens. So, yeah, what's going on out there?
Oh, Bobby, what was Bobby asking about? Or was he already asked about that? Yeah, the
Just curious what others do because I go back and forth on it.
So Joe, I don't know if you were here. I don't know if you're back. You said Pizza BRB, but so we've been talking about the Discord. There is a Discord if you're back. I will link you guys to it tomorrow. And also, I guess if you're really curious, just send me an email too, and I'll send you the link to it. 424recording@gmail.com. So, but there'll be an official announcement next week on the Insta, and then we can monitor it because it seems like a lot of people use it. So. All right, so where are we at? I'm sorry, I feel like I went down like a rabbit hole there. Curious about the songwriting stuff too. Yeah, I feel like if you watch those like writing a song in an hour videos, that's like pretty much what I pretty much do when I go to write stuff. But I guess it can always start with something different. Like Jay was saying, he started with the drums for the Irish song, and then some stuff starts with the guitar. I think that's a good way to keep it fresh.
I actually started with.
Oh, I thought you said you could start with the drums and then cut them up.
Well, I started with, in the actual demo process I did. In my head, I had sort of a line, and that's where I pulled the rhythm from. And then I tuned the guitar part once I had a basic rhythm track.
Are you like backing up your drive right now?
Yeah. So it's probably not gonna let me open that file. Yeah, I got.
Well,
shit
I saw
on
that. I see that bar copying. It looks like it's got a long way to go.
50-some gigabytes.
Yeah, I don't know. That's always a good question. Like the songwriting stuff. I think like new stuff too can help you, or like like new instruments. Obviously that can help, but getting like switching over. Like one thing I've been thinking about doing lately is like starting songs with the bass. Starting with different instruments is always helpful if you get stuck. I don't know. There's like so many different ways to do it. Then I think there's like obviously an infinite amount of ways too. But
also, if you have trouble with the whole music theory thing, and that trips you up on something like, let's say, guitar, pick up an instrument you don't know.
Oh,
a fucking mandolin or some weird shit. You don't know it. Know what you're fucking playing. Doesn't matter.
I always thought that was like the funnest part about making music is that sometimes when you don't know what you're doing, I think.
I'll show you a fucking mandolin track that I played. I capoed the fucking mandolin.
Really?
Yeah.
That's sick. I think that's really cool. I like the exploration of instruments and kind of just going wherever it takes you. Like I remember one time I ordered a guitar. It was like one of those Hondo guitars. It was like a cheap one.
Yeah.
And I wound up selling it, but it was cool. And when it came out of the box, though, it was like out of tune. But then I wrote like a bunch of songs that whatever key was in because I was like, this sounds cool.
Yeah.
You know, that's always really fun too. But,
Well, if you ever do that, you have that happen again.
yeah.
Plug it into a tuner and find out what notes those were.
I know. I
So you
never
can get
like,
back there relative.
I know. I wrote like a whole like.
Wrote a whole fucking record on an
Yeah,
out of tune
like-
Hondo right out of the
like,
box.
well, it was like so inspiring
Jesus.
because all right, what does this thing sound like? Plugged it in, and then I was like, oh, that sounds really cool. I think I just like strummed it, and I was like, whoa, that's really cool. Wrote a bunch of weird parts and songs I didn't really remember how they went, and then yeah, I think it went back in tune or something.
The neck relaxed after the shipping.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Oh, you guys are talking about the loops. Prefer ones that you can save lots of loops on. Yeah, that's why I like the Digitakt too. That's why I was making that song. Also the live stream on Monday, if anybody caught it, was writing songs with loops. It's also a really powerful technique because I just think the kind of music that I make personally is very loop oriented, and you know, it's like simple verse chorus bridge kind of shit. So rather than sit there and play something like I used to for hours, the same riff, making something would change. I found I was talking to Jody about this too, and this is what we're mentioning. It's just like making a 4-bar, 8-bar loop, or you know, multiple loops, and then just layering as many different kinds of instruments and things you can put on it, and then literally you can make a whole song out of like a 4-bar loop by fading things in, fading things out, triggering certain things to come in. The drums maybe drop out for this part. Maybe you have a vocal like this and a vocal like that, and then you put them on different parts, and they come on the parts together. I don't know. There's a lot of possibilities with it. It's kind of a new frontier for me. I feel like it's making my songs more interesting. So, and it's also just a different way to write. You know, I think it's kind of like what everybody's saying. You know, like sometimes with writer's block or with songwriting, like just finding a new way that kind of sparks your interest or rekindles that curiosity about it. I think is always good. So.
Yeah.
Like pick up a mandolin, pick up something weird, try something different, try something in GarageBand. Like a lot of, I got a couple emails this week. One of them from KA that was saying about and sent me a cool video about this guy who's making a lot of music on GarageBand in iOS, and apparently a lot of people are doing this now. That's all they use. So you know, you get like an iRig or one of those things and you plug it in and. You can do all sorts of loops. Apparently GarageBand has gotten really good at this point. I don't know, but I've never used it, but maybe that'll be something to explore. I mean, I've used it. I shouldn't say I've never used it. I haven't used it recently. I used it a few years ago when I was on a trip with Beck and just writing songs in the hotel room because I was feeling inspired, and that's cool too. They have like these they have a couple Eastern instruments, just some very different instruments I've never even heard of, and you can kind of play them and pluck them on the phone. You know, it's a different experience, but
What's up,
they
Jeremy?
make it really intuitive to use. Hey, Jeremy,
What's up there, KA?
Oh, KA's here. What's up? I was just telling everybody about the GarageBand and iOS and the video you were sending me. It's really cool. Anything you can store riffs, yeah, hell yeah. Yeah, I think you're right, Bobby. A looper would help help me out, especially when coming with ideas quick. Yeah, totally. I don't know if you, Bobby, you don't use a DAW at all, because like the DAW is really easy to loop stuff in. That's why I've like haven't gotten like an official looper pedal. I actually had one. I got one like a lot of pedals at one point, and I think I had the RC2 or something, and that was cool. But I don't know. I wound up just like I realized I could just loop shit on my computer. It was just, it kind of took that out of it. It wasn't performing loops live. So.
Either loop listen or loop repeat.
Yeah, loop repeat for sure. Because like I was when I had like the drum set up in my old apartment, and I used to like loop them on the RC2 or whatever that pedal is, and play along to it, and then I realized, well shit, I can just
put it on the computer, do the same fucking thing in one click.
Yeah. I feel like that's the thing too, is you gotta figure out what works for you, you know, like maybe having a hardwired or like a pedal would work better. But I just find like, I don't know. I remember there's like a thing with Radiohead talking about using Logic or GarageBand or something, and or maybe it was Tom York, and I think he was saying that, and I really agree with it. And I hope I didn't just like make this up. It's like one of those like fake memories, but I remember him saying that just like it's a great tool for composition. Like it's so easy to, and I mean, throw stuff in there and loop some drums really quickly, you know, and then bring it to your bandmates, or just get a really quick sketch of something. That's how I look at it now. Is like the DAW is like more of a sketch pad, because that's what I've been wanting to do lately. The next thing I do, I'm working on songs for that November songwriting month. I got those all done, but now what I want to do is I did them really quickly, sketched on Logic, got them all done, finished the challenge, but now I want to go back and record them on the 4-track. And whereas Just a Trick was 4-track first and then digital reprise, this is one I want to do digital first, 4-track reprise, and see how that changes the sound. The DAW rather than a pedal, maybe if that works better for some people, I would say sketch shit out on there, and it's really easy to loop, like Jay was saying, loop repeat or loop play, whatever. Even on your phone now, like GarageBand or something, it's
although
pretty crazy.
The loop repeat is kind of a bitch until you figure out how the click trim works.
Right, yeah.
If it doesn't start in exactly the right place, it'll be out of time when it.
I'd recommend recording to some sort of metronome if you're going to be looping shit on a computer, just for the ease of looping it. But I mean, it is, you can.
Well, you just have to know where the downbeat is on the one.
Yeah.
And you have
you
to
can
edit
you
to
can
that
loop
downbeat.
anything, yeah. Whatever riff you play, but I don't know. I just got in the habit of recording to a metronome when I was like playing by myself with Be Cool Cowboy in the beginning, because I was playing with like a drum machine, and I gotta say that was like one of the things that really made me a much better guitar player, like in terms of like rhythm and just being on time. So I don't know. Your mileage may vary, because I know you're not like a big metronome guy.
I don't really care for it. I can do it, but I don't really like it. Kind of takes all the fucking piss out of it. Certain
projects, yeah, I guess like I just feel like certain shit like I've experienced over the years, they got it's just so much easier to layer. Like if you're working with somebody who wants to layer a bunch of stuff and they don't have the best timing, like it can just be a nightmare. Like if that shit's not to a click.
Well, but what also happens is you have people that want to layer a bunch of stuff and want to make a really simple song be as difficult as humanly possible to record, and then can't play to a click at all.
Oh, so how do you?
Like if you have a project that comes in and they have like these dreams of like doing all this, you know, crazy shit over the top of it, and they want to make all these edits later, and then the drummer can't play to a click. You know, you should be fucking shit out of luck. You're either gonna burn your whole session waiting for that guy to learn how to play to a click, or you're gonna put it down straight out. Your choice. Doesn't matter to me.
That's what I mean.
But if we don't do it to a click, we're not editing.
Yeah, exactly. That's the thing, is like you got to be okay with that. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I rely too much on the click, but I guess because I've seen the other side of that and in projects and recorded people that want to do exactly what you're talking about, and even myself. And it's just, even in my own bands over the years, it's like, you know, unless you have a really solid rhythm section, or you know, it can just be hard to get like pauses and different parts, and if things are intricate or complicated, it can be really hard to play along to somebody who isn't exactly on time. You know, the best way to do it is just do it live at that point. But if you're a solo person and you want to fucking layer a ton of shit on something, like it's just not gonna work unless you. It will work if you listen to it like 20 times and like get all the intricacies of it down and be like, okay, this is like a little bit too fast here, this part slows down, you know, this part is a little out of time, this pause is a little bit short, I gotta make sure I hit the downbeat, you know, like that kind of shit. It's just to irk me, but I just feel like it was a time saver thing. It reduced a lot of friction.
Yeah.
Rambling. Nope, I just my cassette to record on my phone. Oh, okay. Yeah, I would say check out your phone, buddy. I think GarageBand, if you have a iPhone, is free. I think there's probably some kind of free DAW that you could get, or you could probably get like a 4-track app at this point. something to loop. I know I've experimented with a couple of them. There's some really simple apps out there.
What's your question there, Jeremy?
First Third Eye Blind CD, that was raw. I don't want to even look at a computer. Yeah, I get that. I get that, Matt. I mean, that's the beauty of the 4-track. I was talking with the guys on the Monday stream about that Tascam 24. I think that thing was fucking sick. But somebody was pointing out, I forget who, I apologize, it doesn't have many sends or inserts on it. I think only the first 2 channels have, like, ability to bus stuff. Seems like an oversight, unless it's, like I was saying, unless it's all, like, you can do it digitally, but it doesn't seem like it.
How many physical sends come out of the box?
That's a good question.
They're probably assignable.
That's what I was thinking. They would I don't see how they couldn't make it without, that kind of stuff. But yeah, I'd be really curious, like, as we're saying, getting away from the computer. I would love to record on something like that. Like that little DP-04 Levi-Sem. That thing's fucking sick. I'm going to do some more stuff on that. Really cool. It has a really cool sound. The condenser mics sound cool. Somebody was telling me about, kind of sounds like the Kevin Parker, Tame Impala stuff, like the first record, if you can overdrive those mics. I definitely want to do a video about that. I don't know. I like working DAWless and what Matt's saying, like, without the computer sometimes. It's much different, obviously, and obviously with 4-track there is no computer, but...
Correct. Jeremy, I don't know that song by Lenny Kravitz, but I do happen to know the guy who recorded all the Lenny Kravitz shit. Is that a Henry Hirsch record that comes off of? Because if it is, that was all done to tape. There would be, basically no chance of that loop, or that being a loop. That's not how Henry works. That's that guy that Dave worked for
Henry. Henry
He's
Hirsch.
in Brooklyn now, actually. He's at a studio in Brooklyn called Dumbo.
Huh.
He's working a session right now. Speaking of Dave, he just played Citizen Cope, did a live show at Village, where he works. And he ended up playing bass on the live set.
Whoa, that's cool.
Yeah, it's pretty funny.
They needed like a bass player, or how did it work?
I guess,
That's cool.
Yeah. Posted video that I'm guessing Jen shot, probably.
That's sick.
Not like a big Citizen Cope guy, but I thought that was neat.
Yeah, it's really cool, yeah. Actually, the converters on my Fostex D108 sound better than anything I've used from 97. Download 8-track rack hard disk recorder, huh? 2200 back in the day. Hey Travis, what's up, buddy? Kay saying, I hate to be the GarageBand spokesperson, but you can loop easily. You really can. I was messing around with that. It seems like it just gets better and better, that iOS app. I know a lot of the TASFam is TASFam for a reason, but
Travis, I actually shot impulse responses in that studio the last day that it was in operation, right before they loaded the Helios board into the crate that I built for it and moved it to LA. So yeah, I have a whole impulse response sample pack of that studio, including Henry's, I think it's an 1800s full-size grand piano. Yeah.
no, I don't know about that song. I just saw that.
My brother was an intern at that studio, and then he was brought on full-time as staff, as Henry's production and engineering assistant, and yeah, whatever, basic like setup shit, alignments and whatever. That's actually how he ended up in LA, because when the gear, Henry built the studio, or had the studio built, loaded it with all this gear, and then realized that after working literally 364 days the first year, he realized he was making no money. So he decided that he was going to sell the gear and sell the building. So he found a guy who did not want the building but wanted the gear, and he found a guy who wanted the building but could not afford the gear. And they came up with this thing where basically they had like I think it was like a 2-year contract or something, where the equipment would stay in the building. The guy who was going to keep the building paid the utilities on the building but could use the gear. The guy who bought the gear could leave it there. And somehow Henry lucked his way into being able to use it whenever he wanted. So,
yeah, that's.
But literally the last day that Helios had power in Hudson, New York, was the day that I was printing fucking samples up there. Like, I drug this iMac up there and set shit up all over the live room. I was using like Telefunken fucking tube
I think I remember.
pencils.
I mean, I remember you talking about it at that time.
I was shooting the stairwells.
Yeah,
and fucking
I remember you.
the live room
Telling me about that. Yeah, like the impulse responses. And
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, the one of the pianos.
What was that studio called? Waterfront.
Yeah.
That's so crazy. So where does Henry reside now then? He's in
Brooklyn.
He's in New York.
Yeah.
I mean, that's such a crazy story, crazy deal that he worked out too. Like, because I mean, that's how all that stuff got like you were saying, got shipped across the country, right?
Yeah. I don't know if this will do this because I'm trying to do backups at the same time. That's Henry's piano in Waterfront. I'll give it to you one more time. Sorry for the transient. Hear the fucking piano ring out on that shit?
Yeah. Link's Aurora converter from Assistant of Henry's. That's not from Dave, is it?
No.
That'd be funny.
Nah, Dave never got into the Link stuff. Once he got hooked to UA, he never went that far.
What DAW are you using to use the impulse files, Jay? Jeremy may need some help. He says
Logic.
he's using Logic. He said Jeremy said I tried using those impulses, but I couldn't really get it working. That would be a good video for Jay's channel. How to do impulse responses.
This is pencil condensers set up wide space pair. This is the Apple Impulse tool, and this is the snare drum. This is what it would sound like from your sound source at like 50 feet or something in that room.
Damn.
So that's the room sound of Waterfront.
It's a great sounding room.
Yeah. And,
So Waterfront's still a functioning studio then?
the building is still there. Last I heard, Patrick is the guy that took it over. I heard that Patrick is not going to be able to keep it.
Damn.
This is another angle. I think this was from the balcony with a wide space pair. Damn it. This also gives you you can audition.
Hey!
Shouts and stuff in it.
Hey!
Yeah. Pretty crazy shit.
That's nuts, man.
So what's the question? What is it that you want to try to do?
Oh, that's funny. He just said, I tried using them but couldn't get them working. I just wanted to address, hey God's thru, what's up? They're asking, Mike, did you ever get the Fostex R8 going? No, we were just talking about that. I think it's actually an M80 for some reason, if that's the right model. No, I gotta get that going though, God's fruit. We were talking about 2019 is going to be the year that you start seeing some tape machine videos on 424 recording. So stay tuned. Jay and I are gonna I gotta get my checkbook out and bring the M80 over here.
Don't bring that thing over here. Learn how to do it. I do not want to work on that thing.
All right. Well, you'll have to at least give me a. At least can we look at it, open it up and look at it together and see what it looks
I
like?
suppose so.
All right, but yeah, so 2019 is going to definitely be the year that tape machines hit 424 recording channel. So stay tuned, stay subscribed, and you'll definitely get a notification when that happens. Who had the Lynn drum samples? Yeah,
Not
I think
sure.
Jeremy sent me that the folder with all those. That's really sick. Yeah, you can also get them. They're on that DM1 drum app too. They're floating around out there. Hey, what's up? James is back. What's up, buddy? Yeah, that is crazy. I'd like to just say that too, Travis. I was thinking the same thing, Travis. Travis said it speaks volumes that you can have a career like Henry's and at some point still have problems making ends meet studio-wise.
Yeah, but he's a reclusive little asshole too. So I mean, Henry is. He doesn't do himself any fucking favors.
Right. I feel like I feel like that's just kind of the name of the game though with studios.
He got fucked by Lenny Kravitz and his people. That's really what happened to Henry.
Oh,
He
I
still
don't know.
didn't do himself any favors. But anyway.
That's like a, yeah, I don't know. But I don't think it's any secret that studios are having a hard time at this point juncture. No.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, big guys, little guys, doesn't matter. It's really hard for anybody to make money. It's not an easy game.
Yeah, I think it's a passion project, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, at least a lot of the ones I saw is basically that's what they are, you know. When you get to the nuts and bolts of it, and like how certain people have certain studios, it's they either have another job that supports the studio space, or they have just like a fuck ton of money they don't know what to do with, or they just have a lot of money starting out. I don't see how you couldn't, unless you had a really well established career.
Right.
You know, or I don't know. I feel like that's kind of the game. I don't know, but I don't know. So that's what it seems like, though. Yo, what's up, Max? Hey, Max.
Hey!
we should get one of those soundboards that when people show up, like use those. Yeah, that's cool, Travis. Trax East was sold in New Jersey. I don't know what mixer I'm going to use with the R8. Is it an R8? I don't remember. That's terrible. I thought for some reason M80 sticks out in my mind.
I don't know. Not too sure about that.
Because of the explosive.
Because the explosive?
Yeah, an M80. Isn't that like a quarter stick of dynamite or something?
It is. It's also what resides in my living room next to the couch. Nothing.
Yeah, I mean that makes sense, Travis. So the only reason I'm even able to consider the next Strange Bird is simply because I own my place outright.
Totally. That's the only way it can be done.
Yeah. I mean, that's what I've been thinking too, is like at some point when I move out of my condo, or if we ever get another place, which is years down the road, I think that would be the only way I could even have a space. Because I mean, I know I was talking with some of you guys on the stream. I've been talking with Jay about it, and at one point, I think I'm over it now, but I've always circled back around to this idea of getting a studio space, or getting a room somewhere, or getting a closet, or someplace for a few $100 a month. And honestly, it's a hard sell, and I'd rather save that money toward a mortgage for something, a house or something at this point. It almost would make more sense to just buy a small house somewhere inside or around New Paltz, foreclosure or something, and just fucking turn it into a place. But that would be the only way to do it, I think, at this point for myself, unless I had some kind of additional income that was, you know, strictly for the space. But it's easier said than done, you know. A couple $100 toward a place a month, I mean, I think it can be done, but it's a lot. And then, you know, having it secure, heated, cooled.
There's a tremendous amount of expense that goes into all of it.
You know, it's and that's what I'm saying. Like Travis is saying, like, I think unless I bought a fucking house at this point, either strictly for a studio or you know, one that I lived in and had like a bedroom studio, like similar to what I have now. I don't think I'll ever have a space, like a dedicated space for it. It just doesn't make sense. Like, does not make sense.
Well, I mean, I don't know. There's no winning financially in the studio game. There just isn't. Even if you hit big records, it's, you know, you're gonna get some royalty checks or whatever the fuck, you know. But I mean, even here.
Well, these guys are saying basements. Yeah, basements for sure.
Yeah, I mean, that's the only way you can do it.
And then Max said, "What's working with your free office space?" It's kind of cold for the free office space.
Where's that? Oh,
on the side of the fucking mountain. Yeah, the office space is sick when it's
yeah, when it's fucking 75, 80 degrees outside.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, having a space to work in is the hardest part of it.
Yeah, I mean, the thing for me is like, it's just the drums. Like, that's the only thing I wish I could do that I can't do right now. You know, it's like maybe I'll get electronic kit. I don't know.
I mean, I think if you put tea towels over your heads and cut the attack down some.
Yeah, there's definitely certain times a day. Like, I know, obviously, would be better than others. I honestly think I could play them in my house, and as long as I played them like
for a short period of time,
and like
infrequently
and very like lightly.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I was thinking. Like, even an electronic kit, I think would work, but it's an electronic kit. But I mean, just having something, you know, Hapro's too. I had Hapro's Studio, but that's just too fucking far. But that's also really perfect. Yeah, it's one of those things that when I go there, it has to be. I have to have a plan, and just, you know, it's too far to go there just to play the fucking drums for an hour. Or to record, you know, if I have a whole day's worth of shooting I'm gonna do or something, then it makes sense to go there. But because when I was there making that drum course, I just made sure that it was. I had other things I can make, other videos I can make. I was making the course, like, and it made sense. But, you know, I was thinking at one point of going there like once a week, but also, you know, the fucking 2 hours it takes to go there. I could be working and making money in those 2 hours, or I could just fucking write a song in an hour and then have another hour to go to work or something. You know, so it's like, and then plus the time I was going to be there, like the 2 hours it takes to get there and come back are like valuable hours. So it's like, I don't know. I could sit here all day and complain about shit. I'm just grateful that I can do the things that I do. Can show up to this live stream with Jay, fucking chill out on a Wednesday night in the States over here, and talk about the shit that we want to talk about.
Yeah.
My basement is my dojo. Yeah, renting doesn't make any sense. I agree, Travis. And that's why I was kind of saying, like, you know, with the studio thing, like, I was looking at a couple spaces this fall. One was 300, one was 500. And I think one of them would have worked, and one of them wouldn't have worked. But again, just the numbers. I told Jay this too. Like, let's just say 500 a month for 12 months. That's $6,000 for the year. There's houses and like small cabins and shit around this area that you can get for $100,000 or less. You know, and a mortgage you got to pay 10-20% of that. So, like, obviously that's a lot of money. At 10K, 20K, if it's 100K. But if fucking for a year, for 2 years, if you could save for 2 years not having a space, put that 500, put that 300 in a savings account, easier said than done. But if you were gonna spend that already on a space that you were renting, there you go. There's your fucking mortgage payment, and then depending on what your interest rate is, like that's the only thing that makes any sense. I think is having a dedicated spot that you own, that you can afford. Because renting, you're just fucking might as well. I mean, you get the space, but that was always my problem with renting. That's why eventually, we got our own spot. But that's the problem with renting. It's a zero-sum game.
Yeah, and doing like a collaborative shared space with somebody is always a possible option for a lot of people anyway.
Yeah, I feel like there's always something always happens with them, though,
Yeah, I think you gotta have the right group of people.
I think that's absolutely true, actually.
But the other thing to consider though too is that any place you can set up your shit and get away with it is your recording space, right?
Yeah.
So if like your downstairs neighbors like fucking gonna be out of town for like 2 weeks, maybe your living room just became the studio because your downstairs neighbor's not gonna be home for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
You got asymmetrical walls in there too, probably sound pretty good.
Yeah.
So
definitely something to consider. Well, that's and then some people are saying record at Bohem. Obviously, that's an option. Hapros, there's spots I can do it. I guess my thing is I really want to start practicing regularly. I don't know if that makes sense. Without just like a drum pad. I don't know. Maybe they gotta make just like kick, like practice pads. Maybe there's like a way to just do like a simple like setup with a few pads, rather than getting a whole fucking electronic kit. You know what I mean?
Could be. You can probably buy used individual
Chris
drum
had
pads.
like my buddy, that was we were playing with at one point. I hope he's doing good. I gotta touch base on him, but he was using like some pads he had at one point, and I think he had like a triggered kick or something. It actually worked. I mean, you gotta get the nuance of the doesn't feel like an actual kit, but and then obviously you gotta bring your own samples to it. But I have no problem using samples that I've already recorded because I really like them. But I just think it would be cool, to have more of a live feel to it. And I just speaking of songwriting and getting inspired, I just fucking like rocking out on the drums and getting ideas from that as well. Just adds a different vibe, different element. Wait, you only have to put 4% on a house? FHA loan. I thought you had to do like 10 or 20, and that's what I did. Oh my god, that's nuts, Travis. I left Nashville. He said that's half of why I decided to leave Nashville. It's $1,500 a month before I started making money just for the space.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, definitely. FHA is definitely a special program. I remember hearing about that. There are some different programs out there too for vets, and I know it's certain types of houses too that you get in certain types of housing. There's different loans. I don't know. I never really looked into it though.
Hey Matt, I just sent you that invoice. You should have it in the next couple minutes.
Was it for the head or whatever?
It's for the output transformer. I just got an email from him, so.
There's a really funny thing in the chat. Bobby said, I was going to get a house in 2007, so glad I didn't. And then JPC said, I bought mine this time last December, now they were $20 cheaper. I'm pretty sure those are not related, but I'm assuming that means like the or like a pedal or something that JPC's talking about, but that's just a funny turn of, yeah. I mean, that's the whole thing too with houses, right? And the housing burst, 2008. Yeah. There's a really good movie with that on that. I think The Big Short it's called. It's with like Steve Carell and a lot of people are in it. Steve Carell and Batman, the best Batman.
Michael Keaton.
Christian Bale. Michael Keaton's pretty good, man. Christian Bale's in it, and I think it's pretty true to life, and just the whole story with, because those guys, there was like a couple groups of these different people that realized what was happening with the housing bubble, and that's why it's called Big Short, because it's that movie's amazing. I would definitely watch that if you have any interest in why, in economics, but also why the housing crisis happened. It's fascinating shit. Basically, just really greedy assholes. But it's funny that there are few outliers kind of saw what was going down with that, and you know, based on the numbers, they just started buying up. I guess I don't know the exact terminology is slipping my mind, but they started basically shorting the housing market and buying up these like slips and things that, you know, the companies that were, the banks and stuff that were selling them to like Christian Bale, and I think in particular they were like getting ready to, thought the guy was like losing his mind, and they were like, shit, you can buy like these slips, like this shit's not gonna crash, like what are you, crazy?
Yeah. But
they kept like stacking all these like huge, you know, subprime loans and giving loans to people that couldn't afford the shit, and then saying that they were, you know, A level loans where they were maybe like C, F, you know, D level, meaning I don't know if that's the exact grading scale, but it's fascinating. And then they kept grouping them together, and that's, you know, I hope this is making sense, but basically it's a great fucking movie if you want to learn about the 2000 housing crisis, and fascinating stuff.
Get back into the chat now.
All those banks and stuff ate their fucking hat. Country Sky, what's up, buddy? Too big to fail. Yeah, I don't know if I saw that one.
Yeah, I don't know that one either. I just had a
Oh, that sounds dope. Okay. So electric kits nowadays are pretty small, and you could always hook it up to Logic and use their kits to load samples from it.
Yeah, you have MIDI on your interface, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, Boss RC3. Yeah, I mean the Boss ones are, I don't know, pretty solid. I remember the RC2 or whatever one I had. It was a cool pedal. Like, just I didn't need it for what I was doing. Did you want to get something to eat, Jay? What time are we coming up on?
I'm fucking hungry.
We should go
sooner
than later.
Or the OP1 Teenage Engineering, is that like that little weenie keyboard?
Yes.
It's like super thin, like a giant
It looks almost like a, it almost looks like a Fisher Price.
Yeah.
I think the styling on it is fucking amazing. It's one of those things, like, aesthetically, either I think you like it and think it looks cool, or you just don't appreciate it.
I just don't understand it. Big shock, right?
Yeah, dude, that's, well, this is, see, so, okay, so that's what Country Sky was saying, right? So I made that video about the OP1, and that's what we were just talking about. This keyboard, it's reached like cult status. It's a really cool keyboard. Had some production issues, I guess, with keeping it in stock in stores. Simon the Magpie made a video about it, which I think is a big reason. Basically made like a fake news video about it, which I can say because I think he labeled his video as fake news, but so I think I saw his video first. I saw Jade from Dolls Jam and talking about it. She actually sold hers, made an album with it, and then sold it. Because they were going for these crazy prices, and that was the video I made, I think on Tuesday. Oh, yesterday, right? I did the video, well, that was what happened too with the video I did. I did it, I think over the weekend or something, and needed to post it this week. So, like, by the time I saw Simon's video about being discontinued, Jade's stuff about it being discontinued and her selling it, I made the video about, because I always had wanted to get one. I never really mentioned it on the channel, but my buddy Sam had one, and then I was talking about it with Bo Beats at one point on his forum. I always thought it was cool, but it was like a K. You know, it was too much, and it was always out of stock. It was like just rare enough that it was hard to get. But so, you know, this announcement was made. I think Simon and some other people speculating, I guess, that the thing was discontinued because a bunch of people had ordered it, and then it said we can't make them. There's some issue with the screen, apparently, was what I heard, and then this is what Country Sky was saying. So, and that was kind of what I made the video about too, because there was literally, so Jade was saying that there was one that was like 4,500, and then when I went to look at it, I made the video. You can see in the video I made, there's like a couple or one that was bid up to $8,600 and still had like 6 days or some shit to go. And so like people, I mean, God only knows if somebody was fucking
endless budgets.
Dude, I don't know who would pay that for that, but if you go to the sold listings, I think the most one of them sold for was like 3,000. But so what happened was this is the craziest part I think about it. And when I mentioned in the video, it was like the announcement, or like, you know, it was heard that it was discontinued. A couple people put theirs up, sold them for a lot, and then as the word got out, then all of a sudden there's like 30 listings now online of the thing. At one point there was only a couple. Yeah. So that $8,600 one was before the other 30 fucking flooded the eBay. Right. And so all these I don't want to be harsh, but all these idiots bid this fucking thing. Why would you pay $8,600? That's almost $9,000 for like literally.
Not why, but how actually. Like, who the fuck has that kind of money sitting around just for like a little? Yeah. Oh my. I need a new little fucking lap guitar, so $9,000.
It's crazy.
Fucking Jesus.
How it went so quickly into this, like.
Sorry, maybe that's dismissive of me, but.
No, man.
It's fucking ridiculous.
I think
the whole concept
I think
is
that's
ridiculous.
Crazy too. I think the whole thing is nuts. That it was this essentially like an artificial bubble concerning this keyboard, because people thought you wouldn't be able to get it, and then there was only a few of them on at that point. The early people who have a ton of fucking money, or that bid this fucking thing up to almost $9,000, and then a couple days later,
you gotta calm down. You didn't buy one. It's a-okay.
Because I can't sell it. Is that what you're saying?
I have no idea.
Well, actually, I'm not gonna make an announcement about some. I have some exciting news concerning the OP1, but
it's not pregnant, is it?
It's not pregnant.
All right, that's good.
No, but I have some really exciting news about it.
All right.
Well, Jody has one. And he said I could borrow it.
Oh yeah.
So check it. You heard it here first. I'm gonna be making some vids about it. Hopefully, I'm not gonna count my eggs until they hatch. But pretty sick. Thank you so much, Jody, if you're out there, if you watch the replay. But yeah, so I guess I gotta calm down about it. I guess my only point about it is that it's fucking crazy that because it came out that it was discontinued, or because Simon's video, whoever's videos, or wherever, people started freaking out about it. You had this artificial bubble for a couple days where the thing was bid up by people with tons of money, and it turns out, no, this isn't the only OP1 in existence. Supply and demand dictates. Another 30 motherfuckers show up with their OP1 saying, I want to get $4,000 for this, I want to get $10,000 for this. And obviously the price gets driven back down, but it's just, I just think the whole thing is nuts. Like, and then, okay, so my point was what Country Sky is saying. They're just updating the hardware. They put out like a thing on their newsletter that said, please don't buy this. Nobody should have to buy this thing for $8K.
They actually should upgrade their fucking headphone line out jack, because several people I know that have those stupid things fucking broke that.
Really?
And it either has to get shipped back to them to be fixed, or you don't use it.
Huh. Really?
Evidently the little speaker will still work, but it sounds like shit.
Crazy.
So, yeah.
Very weird.
So if you get one, there's something to look out for.
Interesting.
I don't know if anybody else in the real world has that experience, but I've been asked several times to fix that, and I refuse. It's little microelectronics and teeny tiny ribbon cables. It's not worth it. Yeah,
Red Means Recording does some really cool stuff with OP1. And I think Jeremy said that like a lot of his channel is owed to the awesome OP1 videos that he's made. So yeah, I don't know. I just think it's crazy. Bobby said the Teenage Engineering PO3, but they keep selling out. I think that's part of the business model for their company. It seems is scarcity, whether it's artificial or real. But that's great. I mean, that's a testament. I mean, that's what Nintendo does. I've been reading a book. I think I mentioned this. Yeah. You know, Nintendo. That's Nintendo's whole policy. You know, if you think that like. With the Super Nintendo, Super Famicom in Japan, there's like a story in Console Wars, this book I was reading. They had, I don't know the exact numbers, I can't remember them, but they said, you know, they had 100,000 pre-orders, you know, for the Super Famicom, but the whole time they knew they were only going to ship, you know, 30,000 or something, so, or 3,000, something crazy, but creating scarcity for their products. And I remember that too with N64, because I remember a friend of mine got it, but he couldn't find any games for it. It was the same deal. They only made so many games when it first came out, so people were buying the system but unable to find anything to play on it. It was nuts.
Yeah, that's crazy shit.
I mean, I guess Super Mario. I don't know if it came with it or not, but I remember that. Like, I don't know. Artificial scarcity. It's real. I don't know what I'm talking about. Artificial scarcity. It's real. I'm just getting like super sensationalized or something. Like taken out of context, that just seems like the rant and raving of a crazy lunatic. Okay. Mike came through and he's trying to keep me down here. All right. The original OP1 was called the Tasman Porter 1 Mini Studio. Yeah, nice. Yeah, it's like when people think some toy's gonna take off and they buy a couple and triple them and stores sell out. Right. Yeah. Oh, Bobby said like Nintendo. Yep. Yeah, that is really cool. I think that's something, Matt, that's a great point. The pocket operators are crazy popular. They're cheap but amazing. And that's a rare combo these days. Hey, that's what they say about food. You can either have it cheap, fast. You can have it 2 of 3 ways: cheap, fast, or good, or good. Which two do you want? But I think that's really the thing with the Art Tube MP. I always fucking triumph and talk about on the channel. I had the lid on it. That's what I was talking about. You know, that's another great piece of gear, I think, because it's cheap and it sounds great. It works great with the 4-track stuff. I feel like that stuff is hard to find, and when you find stuff like that, it's worth championing. Championing.
So yeah, what's championing?
Travis. Okay, so he said, how many of the BCC tapes are you making? Well, to take a page out of Nintendo's book.
5.
I was only well, Jason and I were talking about doing a collab or him putting some stuff out, and I was only gonna do a run of 10 of them, but I feel like all 10 are already pretty much spoken for, so I don't know, maybe 20, but you didn't hear that here. No, I don't care. It makes no difference. Basically, if you want one, I can get you one, but I was only planning on making 10, but you know, there's one here that Jay has. I was going to get to Jay, and then there's about 5 or 6 that are spoken for and ready to ship. So I don't know. Figure on there being maybe 3 in the wild, or 3 unspoken for. But I don't know. I have enough tapes to make more, but I also have other releases I want to do with those tapes. So, but I was only planning to do 10 at first. So if you want one, let me know. And I can dub you one, but yeah, run of 10.
So what do you think? You want to run to the diner?
Oh wait, Jeremy has a question. Yeah, we can do that. Nobody said anything on this. How many people are going to notice something in my mix that I can only hear on certain monitor speakers, but not Apple earbuds and other headphones?
Most most listeners are not critical enough to notice many of the things that you might hear. Yeah, I think that's what I would say about that. Unless it's like, you know, blaringly obvious, like, you know. Yeah, most people I don't think listen to things that critically.
Yeah, I was gonna say pretty much the same thing. And I think like it's one of those
We
things.
obsess over it, but most
Yeah,
people
probably
don't fucking care.
99.99% of the things that you hear as the person mixing it to is not something that other people are even going to take note of, most likely.
Right.
But the caveat is, Jeremy, well, I think what you should do is send that mix to 3 people you trust, 5 people you trust, and don't say anything to them, but just say, hey, listen to this and let me know what you think. Yeah. And if 2 of those people come back to you and say, hey, dude, I hear this weird clicking on this thing, maybe that's what it is, maybe it's not, but whatever the issue is, like, that's what I do sometimes, like, with Jay or my buddy Brian, you know, Tim, somebody, I'll send them the mixes and say, like, hey, man, and if a couple people get back to me and say, dude, this fucking bass is too crazy, and I think the bass is too crazy, then I'll cut it. So I would recommend sending it to other people. You can send it to me, 424quarter@gmail.com. You know that already. Send it to Matt. I know Matt would be down for listening to it. Send it to Jay, operationaudio@gmail. Put a link on the forum and say, yo, guys, what do you think about this? Or
yeah, Dropbox that shit.
hit it up with people, have
Whatever,
people listen
Google
to it.
Drive,
Don't tell
Google
people
Drive.
what it is, you know, but see what people think. And I guarantee you'll get each person saying something different that they think could be improved, and then you'll get, you know, things that multiple people think could be improved, and then those things that they line up with what you think could be improved. Or
Almost never will people's responses hit the nail on the fucking head for what it is that you think.
Yeah. But if they do, and there's multiple people that do, that's something you should change. And if it's something that you think that you should change as well. I found that, I don't know, that's what I found to work for me.
Just cut the fucking 7K out of the guitars, you'll be fine.
Same thing with weed, Matt said. The rule of 3. Smells good, looks good, tastes good, gets you baked. You can never have all 3. The rule of 3's coming through. Okay, so Country Sky said, have you boys talked about how kick-ass it is that Recording the Masters started making new cassette tapes? I just ordered some of the Fox C60s. I have no idea that's going down. I'll have to check that out.
I hadn't heard that either.
Fox C60s, alright. The Bam Margera house party join us tomorrow.
What the fuck is that?
I don't know. Yeah.
Alright.
Yo, Giant Tree, what's up? Yo, find 5 people in the chat, man. I'm sure send it to me and Jay, send it to Matt, send it to Travis. I'm sure these people will be down for listening to it once or twice. I mean, I don't know about Travis, but I know he would most likely be willing to lend an ear. Can you please buy my $488 so I can pay rent next month? All right, Zorlock, let's throw it up, buddy. Wait, is Zorlock? I don't know. Who was the one trolling us that one week about?
I don't know.
They got pretty deep in like 414 trolling. All right, yeah, should we bring the stream to the diner?
I mean, ask them. You guys want to go to the diner with us again?
Yeah, we're gonna go grab something to eat. We gotta get over there soon too.
Yeah, because they're gonna close the fuck down.
If you guys want to come, throw a 1 up in the chat or something, or just say you want to go, and we'll go. Travis, I think you said send me a message. All right, cool, buddy. I'll make sure you get one. Okay, so
They don't want to go to the diner tonight?
yeah, it looks like everybody's go. I don't know what's going on. All right, Mike, we'll see you later, buddy. I just broke. I prefer the 246. Okay, so I guess Zorlock is serious. How much are you selling the 480 for? I could do some vids on that. I don't know if I have the cash for it, but we could chat.
Nice. I gotta go out and
I gotta take a leak.
Yeah, me too, man.
Alright, so here's what's gonna happen. I guess I'll hang out here for a second, Jay, do your thing, and then we'll or we could just take a 5, but yeah, I don't have my stand though. It's on eBay at the moment. 150, hoping for like 350. Is it okay? And is it fully functioning? What's the deal with it? Do you have any issues with it? I just put in 125 to get it serviced.
The coast is clear, man.
Coast is clear?
Yeah, if you gotta use it, man.
Oh, okay. Do you want to take over the chat for a second?
Yeah, give me a second.
All right, I'm gonna take a leak, and then we're gonna go to the diner. So this is not the end of the stream. The stream didn't freeze. Jay's coming in and out.
Jesus. Ta-da. So I'm back. Where we at? Yeah, some diner. I don't know. Is this chat still live or did I fuck it up? You guys got us out there? I don't know what the hell's going on. Looks like it froze. Yeah, we're still here, Matt. I don't know what happened. The fucking chat video froze. I don't know if you can hear me out there or not, but I don't know why yeah, it's so fucking weird that the sound is live but the video fucking cut out.
Should I grab my stuff, Jay, or are we gonna come back through?
The sound's still working, cutting in and out, I guess.
That's so strange, man, because when I got up before, I wasn't in there and it was still going.
Yeah, that's weird.
Did it like back out of this now?
I didn't touch that. I bumped into the shelf on my way in, but other than that.